Sir. What's up, YouTube? This is your big bro, King Jabez. Back today with another video. I'm going to talk to you guys today in live time. I got about a good 15, 20 minutes before I go to my next test of my day. I'll put it that way. And so I want to get right to it. We're going to talk about in today's live, chosen ones, why your presence offends so many. And this is a message that I know is relevant to a lot of you, men and women who follow my content. Living your life, taking it day by day, and you find yourself constantly running into this negative energy, and there's an offense there when you're just simply living your life, trying to do things the right way, developing your mind, developing your body, trying to grow spiritually, and you have a because of that, this gives you a presence. What's up, man? What up? What up? What up? Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. What's up? I'm gonna go ahead and talk, guys. I got limited time today, so I'm gonna get right to it. This gives you a presence that offends some people, and I know a lot of you guys. I've talked to a lot of you through consultation calls. By the way, tap in for consultations when to talk to me. I've been talking to you guys for years, and a lot of you go through this at work. You go through this at the gym. You go through this sometimes even with your family, because your presence is they can feel something they can't see. Let me say that. It's not always what you say, it's what they feel. People react to you, and you make them feel. That's why we say this person makes me feel this type of way. That's what we mean by. What's up, humble thin skin? What's up, homie? This is why we say that. It's because your presence makes them feel away, and they'll try to project. They'll try to bring you down. And so when you are somebody who is on a mission, as you guys are, you ladies are, you have to understand that's what comes with this. And so you can never live your life based on the perception of other people. Let me just put that out there. Brandon says, when is the last time you laid down? Okay. You almost caught me slipping with that one. What's up, man? I'm good, man. How about yourself? I'm cool. What's going on? Let me go ahead and get rid of you because you're just talking crazy. How do I get rid of this guy? All right. So yeah, when you're doing this, you're gonna have conversations like that. You know what I mean? What's up? What it do, big bro? What's up, man? I'm good, man. About yourself, man? What you up to? What is going on? What is going on, man? I'm glad you guys tapped in. Let's get to it. So I'm gonna speak this word over you guys' lives. A lot of you, your name is gonna be known. Let me just go ahead and tap in. I got my notes here today. Let me tap in. Your name is gonna be known. You're going to be known for something successful, whether that be your business, this can be your entrepreneurship skills, your talent, your music, whatever it is that you do, it's going to draw attention to you. And when you are someone who draws a crowd, and so a lot of you who are watching me, you have an audience. I want you to understand that. Even if you don't understand you have one, you have an audience. People are watching you. And at times they're watching to be motivated. And at times they're watching because they feel envy, they feel jealousy. And you have to navigate through all of that using wisdom, being smart. So Jessica, what's up? Nikki Blue, what's up? How you doing? Somebody says we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, against principality. Yeah, Ephesians 6, yeah, definitely. Definitely a spiritual war. They feel the spiritual energy behind you. Yep, agreed. So great to see you. Guys. Likewise, SoCal says, like good to see you as well. Definitely. So again, guys, we have this presence. This will offend. So how do you deal with this? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a second. Understand when it's your time. No one can do anything about that. Let me say that. When it is your time to go through doors, when it's your time to be blessed, to prosper, and this is how you know it's your time too. When it is your time, the pressure will increase. So you'll get more attacks. You'll have people, I mean, at times just saying crazy stuff to you, trying to get you off your square. And sometimes that pressure and opposition, it is a sign that you're closer to your assignment. Somebody says, my wife and I will be married for 8 years this month. I believe the enemy has a plot against my marriage. He probably does. Congrats, by the way, man. 8 years is a long time to be married. So, yeah, the devil definitely has a plot against your marriage, bro. Marriage is a very powerful statement. So, if you're listening to this and you've been married for 8 years, my advice to you is to keep your relationship private. A lot of people are not successful with that. I'll keep it real with you. So the fact, I mean, that's fine. You're sharing on this live. Nothing wrong with that. It's good you're sharing on me in this live. I appreciate that, but a lot of people don't. And so what I've learned from my own relationship, I keep my relationship private. You don't even see my mama most of the time. I have a big following online. Thousands of people follow me. I keep my woman relationship private. Everyone's not happy for you, but shout out to you, brother. That's a blessing, man. I wish you all many more years, to be honest. Somebody says I'm going in 26 years. That's great. That's really good. That's really great. Shout out to you guys who are making it with relationships. That's a good thing. So, it's your time. And when it's your time to be blessed, there's nothing anyone can do about it. So let me read some of these comments. Somebody says, I try to keep everything private. You got to these days, man. People, envy something else, man. Jealousy, it's like King Solomon says, cruel as the grave. That's real. You know what I mean? You guys got any questions for me? Go ahead and tap in. I got some notes right here, but I can just freestyle. Go ahead and tap in with some questions. What y'all got going on? What y'all got going on today? Any questions for me? I got to screen them as I read them. Sometimes y'all be asking stuff to be kind of crazy. What is the hardest part of a breakthrough? What's the first thing come to mind? I mean, I guess there's several hard parts to it. The waiting process, the faith of not knowing when the test is going to end. Um, Going through a test again if you don't pass can be a hard part for breakthrough. But before breakthrough, I said it before, I said it again. Right before it actually breaks, it feels like everything falls apart. Why is that? Because you're going to a new level. And whenever you go to a new level, the old has to fall apart. So I would say the hardest part, if I had to actually answer that on the spot, without thinking about it too much, is going through that breakdown before the breakthrough. I'll drop it like that. Going through that breakdown before the breakthrough. What is a very clear sign of you're near a breakthrough? What is a very clear sign you are? I don't think it's one. I think there are a number of signs. We talked about the breaking down. We talked about the test. We talked about a lot of people will come start pressuring you once you're about to get a breakthrough. Temptations will resurface before breakthrough because the temptation is there to get you off your square. So an old temptation will resurface. You'll find yourself at times battling fatigue, laziness, and whatnot. That's real, and that's why I do my talks, by the way, about witchcraft and spells. Some of y'all appreciate that, some of y'all don't. And that's fine, one way or the other. I don't care. Honestly, you're entitled to your own opinion. But the reason that I speak about witchcraft and spells and voodoo and hoodoo, that stuff is real. I'm reading books now, educating myself. This is what people are doing. And so sometimes when you're trying to get a breakthrough, there are people watching you with evil motives. And these people be at your job, these people be in your family. You be having family members working witchcraft against you. You don't even know it. I'm telling you what I know. And so I guess sometimes too, just really discerning what's happening in the spirit realm. That's what I would say. What is the hardest part of letting go of an old mindset? You mindset. The only way to get rid of an old mindset is to develop a mindset. The only way to get rid of an old mindset is to get around new people. Because sometimes those old people will have you thinking the same way. That's been my experience. New mindset will come through new books, new people, new information. Information, I just said it recently in the video, I'm gonna say it again. Information breaks the power of poverty. And I'm noticing it nothing to do with poverty, but what keeps people in a poverty state or lack state, not just money, it could be poverty of mind or spirit or body, whatever, is a lack of information. This is why people who have the answers often safegate or they gatekeep what can help us. So we got to dig to find the right information. To get a new family, okay. Any more questions? Come on with them. Come on with them. Come on with them. Any more questions? I like that biggie thumbnail, whoever that is, with the biggie thumbnail. Any more questions? Okay, we got another weirdo over here. They go show up no matter what. Is closure necessary to forgiveness? Do you have to reach out to them? Not necessarily. Forgiveness doesn't always result in reconciliation. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Forgiveness doesn't always guarantee or come out to lead to reconciliation. Two different things. You know what I mean? So there might be time when it may be best to not talk to this person, depending on the nature of where they're at. And it only can be reconciliation if that person is willing to admit their fault. So if they can't do that, there's no reconciliation. There's only forgiveness. So that's what I say about that. Yes, sir. So forgiveness and reconciliation are two different things. You can forgive without reconciling. So it's your time. It's your time for a breakthrough. Often signs will come many ways, open doors. How should someone steward their money? John Wesley said this a long time ago. Simplistic, spend, save, give. Those are the three main things. You give a portion, you save a portion, and you spend a portion on your bills. Now, in terms of a budget, everything goes, and what you want to do for business, that's multi-layered. That can be a number of things. Depends on what you want to do, your purpose, how much money you got. But honestly, at the end of the day, I will say this: the Bible has over I think it was 600 verses talking about money. So the Bible says a lot about money. In fact, I have a video on this page. Go check it out, where I broke down the principles from the Word of God about money. That's a video maybe 2, 3 years ago. I did that video. Go check that out in one of my archives. You'll tap in. I'll give you some wisdom with that. So I think you appreciate that. But money is always a test. When do narcissists get their karma? That can vary. That can be on. There's no timetable on that. That can be years later. That can be an eternity. Who knows? You know what I mean? So I can't give you a date for that. I will say this: people reap what they sow. So if you're consistently doing bad things, that's what's going to come back to you eventually. I do believe that. It may not happen when we think it should, and it may not even happen in this lifetime. And sometimes the karma is just that person is in a place of torment and a lack of peace. So I will say that too. I've been seeing 333 everywhere for like 8 months. That's a sign. If you're seeing 333 for 8 months, man, go look that up. I'm serious. Look it up, research it. What does that number mean to you in particular? And man, how you can learn from that. I got a book over here right now. I'm looking at it now on my bookshelf over there on numerology, and it just breaks down what those different numbers mean. So you can study that from a biblical perspective, as well as just from a Western or Eastern perspective. All cultures taught numerology at some point, and so definitely is a message in that. And don't let people tell you it doesn't mean anything. Can you do a video about angelic numbers in depth? What it means, please. I'll consider that. I've been considering that for a while now. I got a lot of notes on it. I've been studying it myself. But numerology is real. It is a form of communication. It didn't just start with us here on YouTube or online. People had did this for centuries. Decoding back to the ancient Egyptian culture. I'm reading a book right now about some ancient Egyptian culture. People have been doing this. So definitely. What's up, homie? Dream Fitness was good with your boy. 144. I mean, that reminds me of 144,000 chosen ones. That's definitely significant. So if you see that one, I mean, that's the message behind that. 23 is also a very powerful number. Definitely. So why? Let me ask you a question. In your life, why do you believe at times your presence offends people? Why do you feel like your presence offends people? How do you feel about people saying seeing numbers are demonic? The same way I feel. I'm glad you asked me a question. I'm going to manifest now. How do I feel about people who say seeing numbers is demonic? The same way I feel about people who say meditation is demonic. The same way I feel about people who say we got 111 here, by the way, numerology in the chat. The same way I feel about people who call anything, any practice they don't understand demonic. It is ignorance. It's that simple. And I'm not even trying to be arrogant about that. See, what people got to understand is that here in the West, in particular, if you're here in the West, meaning America, one of the countries over here, Mexico, North America, Canada, whatever, we lost a lot of those ancient teachings from the East. So when the Bible was translated the way we got it, we lost we lost some of those teachings. In fact, the Ethiopian Bible has, I think, like 23 books we don't even have. So I think when you understand that, we have a portion of the revelation. And so whenever we begin to discover different teachings in the realm of spirituality, what people will say is that's just New Age, that's just demonic, because they haven't done any research. They haven't, no offense, and to be honest, I believe they haven't taken the time to actually research. The people who normally say this is my opinion, they have not done any study on ancient Egyptian culture. They have not done any study on numerology. They have not read about astrology. They say astrology is demonic, even though the wise man found Jesus through stars. I mean, people say stuff without even really doing any research. You know what I mean? And I think it's easy to say that because they can't say, I don't know, or I didn't know this, or I'm ignorant. Rather than say, I don't know, I haven't experienced that, it's easier to label something as demonic because you don't have the discipline to study it. That's just my opinion. And so I think that's a lazy way of interpreting your spiritual process and growth, in my opinion. And I used to say stuff like that, so that's how I know. I mean, like 7, 8 years ago, I would say something like that. Oh, that's demonic, because I didn't know. Just because you don't know something doesn't mean it's demonic. You know what I mean? So that's what I think about that. That's a good question. Oh, no, facts. It's definitely demonic. Definitely. I mean, in that case, you know what I mean? You guys remember I did a video called The Attractive Outcast, right? I came up with that title for a reason. I was really trying to communicate a very powerful message. As a chosen man or woman, if you have an attraction, whether that be the way you look or your gifts or your ability, your talent, what will happen to you is that you will often be outcast, not because there's something wrong with you, but because you're refusing to do the rituals, okay, or the stuff I want you to do. You can fill in a blank to get a certain contract or to get a certain deal or to go through a certain door. When you refuse to go that traditional route, you will be outcast. Even though you are attractive, even though you have skills, even though you have an ability. So you can be good looking, you can be a good artist, you can be a businessman, and sometimes you will find yourself outside the gate because you don't sell out. That's really what I meant by that. So when you don't sell out to get out, when you don't sell out to get out, you will find yourself in that position. And I've been in that position. It's uncomfortable. I'll be honest with you. It's uncomfortable when you see someone who you know, and this is not even to be arrogant. This is just keeping it a stack. You see someone who you know you are more gifted than them in this area. That's just a fact. It's not an opinion. It's not arrogance. Some people are more skilled, more talented than others in a certain area. I think we all can agree with that, right? I think that's common sense. And so when you see someone who you know you're clearly at a higher level than them in this particular lane, and they make it before you, you know what that's all about. You know what I mean? You know what that's all about. So I would say when that happens, man, you gotta stay strong. You gotta stay strong. You cannot allow people to you know what I mean, to discourage you and get you off your square. Somebody says, "Good morning from Australia. Welcome. How you doing?" From Australia. How you doing over this morning over there? It is 2:44 p.m. here where I'm at. So it's cool you're able to tap in. Well, I appreciate you coming in and getting in your day. That's cool. You start your day with me. I really appreciate that. So I'm looking for some thoughts here. Somebody asked me a question about astrology. I'm gonna read just a little something here. This is not nothing in depth. Uh, so I thought this was interesting. You asked a question about astrology. I'm gonna just read some of this. Of course, this is not a lesson. This is just a few thoughts. The planets in astrology: the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Mars represents the masculine energy and male friends, fighters, athletes, risk takers. That's why you've ever heard the comment before. I thought in the years past, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. That's what they mean by that. There is an astrological connection that men have with the planet Mars. I do believe that. Um, when people say that this is, or even Saturn, the Lord of the Rings, right? Research this. Saturn refers to business, wealth, career. This is why a popular show is called Lord of the Rings. That's what that's all about. Okay, El is related to Saturn. From El, you have the word elder, election, elect, money. It also speaks of restriction, boundaries, limitations. I'm not going to, I got some notes here I can't read out loud. But yeah, you can just imagine who it is that limits us. I'll put it that way. Different agents that are there to, in their mind, keep us in our place. But man, I've done some research. Man, research it. I say to people who follow me, learn as much as you can. You don't have to agree with all of it, but do some research on astrology. Do some research on numerology. Learn, study this stuff, and get your mind in a place where you got an edge against other people. I'm autistic, and I thought it might be good for you. I mean, if that's medical cannabis, I mean, if that's good for you, I can't tell you what to do in that case. If you feel like that's helping you, somebody says, "Brother Iron Tucker, check in, catching live." I appreciate you, bro. But I mean, to answer your question, bro, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. If you feel like this is helping you to cope with society, I mean, to use it wisely, I guess I would say that. There are people who use miracle marijuana. Came words out. There are people who use medical marijuana. I'm not a physician or a doctor to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. That's not my place. But if it's something that helps you, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Any more questions? These are good questions, guys, ladies. Y'all keeping this live stream going. I appreciate it because I don't want to come here and do all the talking, do all the thinking. I want you to think too. I want you guys to stop in with me. I want to have a conversation. I don't want this to be a lecture. I want to just talk. You know what I mean? Need some water. I don't even know what that is. The title. Can you speak on birth month and dates? Do you know if there is meaning if you keep seeing numbers? Yeah, there's definitely a meaning in numbers. And your birth date and month is also very significant. Everything is significant. There's definitely a message behind that. So you got to do some research. Somebody's idolatry. I mean, it's really anything you put before God. Something you're. I mean, the ancient text. If you want a thorough answer, they literally had beasts and animals they would bow down to that were made from gold and silver and various metals that they would worship, and it was an idol. What can become that now in a person's heart is it could be a person, it could be an object, it could be an experience that you trust more in than God, to be honest, to lead you through life. So idol can be a number of things. And there's a difference between having an idol and allowing someone to influence you. There is a distinction between influence and worship. I mean, it's a thin line, to be honest, sometimes. So you guys having a good day? What's your plans for the evening? Any of you guys going to the gym? What y'all got going on for the rest of the day? So while you guys come in with these questions, let me go ahead and give you guys who are following this. The title for the person asked, the title of this message is Chosen Ones, Why Your Presence Offends So Many. We're talking about that. Let me give you guys this prayer real quick for those who are here. Let me go ahead and bless you with this. This is a prayer for financial blessings. So I want to share this with you guys while you're on the live, and I hope this helps you in your life, okay? So we pray for the corn, oil, and wine, which is a symbol of wealth to be released into your life. We cancel the assignments of demons against your money. I am blessed, whatever and however I conduct my business. The blessings of the Most High will make me rich. Blessings and riches are in my house because I honor the Most High. Peace and prosperity are within my home, job, company, and divine connections. Who believes that? My destiny helpers are on the way. Kings and queens are coming into my life. Phone calls, invitations, opportunities are coming my way. The angels of the Most High watch over me daily and help me through life. I will be a prosperous man. I will be a prosperous woman, for women who hear this. The wealth of the wicked is being given to me. The floodgates of heaven are over my life, and I will receive more than enough in the name of Yeshua. So I want to just share that with you guys and bless you all with that for those who came to us live. Speak those words over your life. Let me say that while I got you guys here. It is important that you speak life over yourself. It is important that you speak life over yourself. Words carry power. Words carry the power to break curses. Words carry the power to influence, to open doors. Speak life over yourself. Life is in the power of the tongue. And so a lot of you day by day, that's why I encourage you in the morning, start your day off with meditation. The ancient Egyptians understood that the best time to meditate was first thing in the morning. That's when you can align your thoughts on the right perspective for your day. And so as you do this, you will grow. So speaking words of life over yourself day by day. You got to do that because you're going to have people constantly trying to curse you. Even if you read the chat, people are saying negative things and trying to speak against your life. This is real. Trying to speak curses over you. So when you're constantly living in this world like that, you have to learn how. That's why affirmations are so powerful online. That's why powerful affirmations and words and meditations are so popular because you got to find ways to build yourself up in this world. So find ways to stay consistent. Find ways to keep yourself motivated. Find ways to keep yourself focused on your goals. You know, I got goals and keeping a track of those goals and write down dates when you want to accomplish them. Keeping yourself in alignment with your life purpose. And so one way we can do that is by having words of positive affirmation. That'll get you on the right path. You got to have goals. If you have no goals, if you shoot for nothing, you'll reach that target every time. You got to have something you're shooting for. So, guys, ladies, I got to wrap this up. I got to go. I'm glad you all were able to tap in on me for this half an hour, for this message. Chosen ones, your presence offends many people. And you got to be careful how you carry yourself day by day. So I want to tell you guys, meditate, speak words of affirmation over yourself, take it one day at a time, continue to feed your mind. Don't allow negativity to get to you. Keep yourself in a positive, upbeat state. Go forward. Stay strong and understand your worth, your power, and who you are. When you understand your worth, you walk in that and you live in that day by day. So, guys, ladies, thanks for listening. I got to tap out.